it's Helios.
And
But
Chaz.
and Chaz too, sorry. But they can shut that down, but surprisingly they don't want to fight against it.
Yeah. Maybe it's something that they didn't have enough practice against. So
Maybe,
they take it out of the element, or they take it out of the possibilities, and now the 300 would have access to the first pick. Camille is out of the way, but there's a lot of champions that is available right now that 300 would love to get their hands onto. Riven is one of them. The question for OBA: are they confident to pick Olaf right away against this behemoth stack of players?
Yeah, especially on the side of the 300, they know how to play with the Riven, especially. But with OBA looking really great, because this is one of the tools that they used to win a while ago. And this is going to be the Senna getting the first pick, and Jace. Really good picks at first rotation, so there's a lot of range, and maybe sustain later on. It's looking like their pick a while ago during game 2 from last series. Yeah.
From the last series, yeah, exactly. Just 30 minutes ago here, Dash. Stay with me. Oh, Gwen. Okay, all right. So I'm trying to look for all the champions that are left open. Now I'm guilty to say that I did forget about the Gwen. It's surprising that it was not picked first, and it's even more surprising that it was not picked by OBA at all.
Yeah.
And now they need crowd control, so instead of going for the standard marquee pick in the Ziggs, they go for the Lux.
Are they gonna go for the Yone though for OBA? Because with what they have, if they want to couple or at least trade against the Gwen, they should pick up the Yone on their side. But what they did was pick up the Assassin on the hands of this Akali. But we've seen the Akali a while ago. They have a hard time chasing the back line, especially on the hands of 300. Marky knows how to position pretty well.
And against the Gwen, I'm not liking this Akali pick at all. Just because...
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of damage that can go straight into your face, regardless of if you're in the shroud or not. Again, the snip mechanic is just one of the easy-to-use skill of the Gwen. But outside of that, we're going to look into the second rotation of bans here for both squads. They're going to focus away, or focus on Exocet. Exocet was so good on his Recon earlier, so I will not be surprised if OBA targets Recon next year.
Yeah, and I'm really surprised about this though. For the side rider of OBA with the Akali, it's really hard to play with the Akali if you're playing around the Twilight Shroud and there's a lot of AoE coming in. But looking at the bans, you don't want the Nasus to come out. There's still a Galio available to pair up with the Senna, and even the Nautilus is really good. There's still a lot of picks to work with.
Right. What else? So Senna, Gragas, and Nautilus are the formidable options. Even Garen can actually work with the Senna. There is also a possibility of a Senna Ziggs lineup in the bot lane, just maximizing the poke potential of a Ziggs and a Jace. But if they do that, they'll be so squishy. Galio has been banned away here by 300, so what would OBA pick here? Shen? Senna Shen?
There's a Nautilus though, so that's a possibility. If ever they would, there you go. There's the Nautilus. So it's not the best to pair up with the Senna. I really do believe that the Nasus and the Gragas are way better. But at least they had the CC. At least that's good.
I mean, they need a tank for sure. They need something to face check into this squad of 300. Because again, if 300 is able to impose their will onto the map, especially with Lux present for them, you know what Lux is very good at? Maximizing Fog of Force, going for that rushes, because if you come in, light binding hits you, and that's it, right?
You're dead.
Another showing for Exos and Rakan. I think I firmly believe that, you know, in the match up between 300 and G2B, Exos and Rakan was really stellar, and he was the real MVP.
What's great about and there you go, there's the Z2. There's 2 pocket picks on the hands of the 300. And if this goes, there's a lot of great picks that you have on the side of 300. But the problem here is it's the same thing. Like what we said for the 300 every time. They don't have someone to face check. They don't have someone to tank for the team. So it all lies down to how they engage. But how are they going to engage smoothly if they have the Olaf on their face?
True. It's just so hard. Again, OBA is trusting the chops of to accelerate this game for them. We have seen OBA's quote unquote how should I call this? They want their dragons, right? It's back-to-back games that we have seen their preference. That's the word that I'm looking for. Their preference towards the dragon. Meanwhile, the 300, I'm okay with them, going for the Rift Heralds, because if there is one team that can really maximize early game tempo, early game pressure, position-wise, territory-wise, it's the 300.
I like how they always swap, right? For OBA, Zero is the one using the tank support, and Liang is always the Senna player. I like how they switch this up because it's a very flexible way of playing. Whenever you're in need of a Senna, it's better to just let Liang go for it. But based on the composition all alone, I'm really liking OBA's composition just because they have a lot of ways to go through, but I respect the 300's Zed and the Rakan so much that I'm kind of leaning towards them too.
Yeah, there's one mission for the 300, and that is to reclaim what was truthfully theirs. That is to be heralded and to be called the best team in Southeast Asia. And with this lineup, with Helios going back to his very, very comfortable pick in Zed, things are looking up for the 300. I mean, I'm looking at the lineup with the names on it, and obviously, with the names involved in it, I would say that this is a very good draft overall for the 300.
Yeah, and if it's a 300, they're going to be making it work. So still a big possibility for the 300 to just do this. They have cemented themselves already on the ref, on the SCA. So we all know how strong this team is. OBA is basically the underdog of this story. So they need to prove themselves in this matchup.
Only caveat when it comes to 300's laning is that their bot laner, especially with Marky, the one playing the Dragon lane, they're susceptible in lane kills. I remember they are showing against Chinese teams back in Icons Global. They were easily bullied out in the bot lane. Dives left and right happened in the bot lane. And if OBA wants to challenge the 300 supremacy, at least in this game, they have to start there.
Yeah. Bot lane is going to be a pretty good target, especially when you have a Rakan. Rakan is, compared to other of the tank supports, Rakan is not basically a tank support. He's basically an engaged support at his own right and not actually a tank one. That's why it's really hard to put a class on this champion. But if you play around Exo-Sen especially, it's going to be explosive.
Category-wise, I believe if Rakan is considered an enchanter, correct me if I'm wrong. Last time I checked League of Legends PC days, I think that Rakan is considered an enchanter, but it's a hybrid. That's correct.
Yeah. He can do pretty much everything. That's why Rakan is such a good pick. But you just need to play around it, like what they're gonna try to do. Not gonna use the Grand Entrance. I thought they're gonna go in.
And Uyen is maximizing his hit in putting in the pressure against Helios. Liang, though, is first to the party, and is actually helping out. Pulling Helios, double range matchup, a nightmare for Helios.
Yeah, really hard to fight against this. Even Exo-Sen is going to have a hard time getting close here. Because with the amount of range that they have, and I like that Liang just went into the mid lane, letting Zero farm out in the bot lane. It's surprising to see a Nautilus farming in lane.
That's actually the problem that I do have with their composition. Hold that thought. They're going to be dive. No can do for the squad of OBA. They will be content with his son and daughter of the Krogs. I don't know what to call them, but anyway. So yeah, that's the only thing that I'm actually a bit worried for OBA. It's because this Nautilus, regardless of how much resources you put into him, it's not going to be as impactful as the Galio, as the Gragas, because those champions build AP items on them. They will have a decent amount of damage and decent amount of tankiness as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Nautilus is not really known for its quote-unquote scaling component of the AP side of things.
That gave me a bit of a deja vu. Like what you said, it's not normal for a Nautilus to build AP, but I've seen a while ago. Versus Esports is just Pandora's box. Yeah, Jill used the AP Nautilus in the jungle, and that was surprising. Yes, he was dealing damage, but it's not as effective as you said.
Yep.
So that's why it will still be a hard contention for me for OBA. I hope they would be able to find the chink in the armor of 300 using this Nautilus, but looking at it. Might be scary for Zero. Grand
There you
entrance
go.
is there.
Easy.
And this might be the death of him. It's going to be an easy kill. Ignite has been tucked, and that is going to be the kill for the side of the 300.
And that was telegraphed or planned out by 300 just maybe 1 minute heading into that play. That's how long they planned for that pickup against Zero. Now, this is a matchup that I definitely would want to see because God was able to manhandle Spelts earlier, right? And especially during game number 3, he was outmatching Spelts, out-trading Spelts. But this time, you have 3ZL that has a lot of experience under his belt. Again, for those new viewers out there, yes, there's been a roster movement, roster change for the side of 300. They have added a new 6-man, 3ZL, formerly known as Isilla, and is also a former player of RRQ, is now back into fray for them, leaving Helios back into his natural lane in the mid lane.
Yeah, and we all know how strong Isilla is, right? He basically plays a lot of these carries, and there's a lot of experience from this guy. So the confidence is there. So OBA needs, or at least God, needs to be aware of that whenever they're fighting again in the top lane. Right now, 20 seconds on the clock, objective's gonna come in. The bot lane Helios is just gonna kill Zero.
That's what we missed. Time and time again, there you go. Now Helios is back to his end. Now he's back to being able to terrorize matchups after matchups. Welcome back, 300 Helios.
Yeah, and that's a solo kill. Pretty easy too. Because Abyssal Mask has been built by Zero. That's why it's easy enough for Helios to just pop that Nautilus. It's not going to be even a problem. Right now, objectives are up, but they're still thinking. Both of our teams are still thinking on where they want to go.
OBA really loves their dragons, and How to Train Your Dragon has been the movie title for OBA, but 300 is in the area to contest this.
Yeah, down to Drake, super low in HP. Still a trench line is waiting for them. They have the ultimate to come out. A lot of damage on Nexus and use the charm on 2 onto the back, but no follow-up whatsoever.
That's okay.
So they still have the damage right there. Time 8 still has the Ragnarok to work with, so they can still back away from this. It was a very disastrous fight from both of our teams, but nobody has died yet.
And no ultimates whatsoever for either squad. But we'll see though. Ragnarok still available.
Yeah, still want to go in. GCL already in the back line. Time 8's going to be his target. He has the resource available. That is the dead. All of the Viking is down. And the Spartans are at the ready right here to back away. Great steal from the 300.
True. Chaz going back to his roots. Stealing objectives after objectives. Not only that, was also able to get ahead of Time 8. We did say that prior to this matchup, one of the things that we had to carefully consider is the matchup in the jungle, because Time 8 was a very formidable opponent for Renzi just a couple of minutes ago. But now Chaz has something to say that Chaz was able to secure the dragon, was able to get that kill, and still has the ability to get this Rift Herald. If 300 gets their hands onto this Rift Herald, it's fair to say that, you know, the mid game should be easily on 300's favor.
They were still hesitating on the 50-50 there. I thought that OBA could actually take that because they were in position. They were in a great position to actually contest that. And because they were afraid, Time 8 lost time. And it was easy enough to just take him down with the amount of HP that he was on.
Yeah. I mean, he was on Ragnarok, but one thing that you cannot really counter is death.
Yeah. Right now, Time 8, now gonna fall pretty fast. Pops the Ragnarok. That's gonna be easy for him to get popped. Great kill from Helios, and now onto the back line. God is making wonders. He's making things work. Is it going to be the prayer of the team here to actually work right now? Zero's going to fall. God is going to go in, and it's not going to be able to net any kill for their side, though. Look at that bomb. The baseball bat from Uyen is enough to get the kill, but it's still a lot of people down on the side of OBA. A 3-4-1 in the tower in the mid lane, and they're still not done. Grand entrance on the back line, and that is a kill on Leon.
Another bump. 1, 2, 3, boom! Oh my god. Everything positive for the side of 300. Yes, OBA was able to get their first kill, and the series at the expense of Chaz. But look at the goal lead that 300 was able to surmount off of many teamfight wins that they were able to get against OBA. Now, more prizes on their way. 3ZL was able to secure this tower, and I did say that if 300 will be able to secure another objective, and that's going to be the second Rift Herald. So I mean, first Rift Herald of the game. It's fair to say that 300 would have a firm grasp of the early to mid game of this game number 1.
Yeah, this is what I like about this, right? For the 300, whenever you have Helios on a carry champion, like, or at least a set on an assassin in the mid lane, this is how he plays. He annoys the jungler every time, and you can see it here. Time 8 didn't have any chance on stealing that.
True, and again, this is going back to their identity. 300, when we first fell in love with them, back in their time with RRQ, has always been the mid jungle synergy. And now they're going back to their root. Another 300 gold added onto them. Man, oh man, this has been a clinic. This is a go next angle for OBA, I'm sorry to say.
Honestly, I believe that too, because at this point, when you have an Olaf and the Olaf doesn't net any kills in the early game, or at least the first objective, that's going to be bad. And God almost fell down there. If one more shuriken hit him, that would have been enough.
I know. He needs breakfast. Breakfast for the gods. What?
Okay.
Or food for the gods.
I was about to say, we just had dinner, Otilus. We just had dinner.
I mean, I had to do it. I mean, at this point, like, you're looking into this game, and if you're a fan of 300, you should be all smiles, ear to ear. Yes. and you have all the reason to do so, because one, you were graced upon the presence of Helios once again. Look at that bait. Look at that bait.
What was that? Yeah.
Yep. That bait, I mean, true. I mean, God presented himself onto another god in Helios. And yes, Helios is the sun god, right?
Yeah, that's true. And now Enzo-Sen gonna be the target, and that's gonna be it. God is gonna fall down. The Dawning Shadow is not there to actually help anything. And Leong is just gonna be backing away in disgrace. Look at this bot lane. 3CL not even gonna die. They don't have enough CC to actually keep this guy alive, or keep this guy dead, or keep this guy trapped in the bot lane. And they can't even get any kills.
What an addition for the squad of 300. 3ZL making easy work of OBA's duo, trying to gank him. That he knows this champion. And basically, if we're looking at the history of 3ZL, he's known to carry multiple teams on the Baron side of things, or Baron side of the map. And those movements, it's all natural for him.
Yeah, and it's a very interesting decision that they have, that they're gonna go in another route. They have this stasis to actually work with, and Zero was forced to flash away onto this fight. They want to get into the backline, but they can't reach it. It doesn't matter, because Time 8 is gonna be the target here. He's gonna be low in HP, and nobody's gonna be helping Chaz. Good stasis on the team, and this might be the fall right here. Perfect execution is gonna be there onto the backline, but the route again from Marky was perfect. And OBA, they're being taken over.
No way.
That is just a lot of flashes. Healing is gonna fall down. Too aggressive, too many to actually take, and that's enough damage to actually win them, to net them the fight.
Another light binding
to end it all, and that's the light in their faces, blinding the members of OBA.
OB aced by 300, and Chaz gets the prize of the Ocean Dragon. We're just waiting for the formalities here. We can talk about anything you want here, Dash, because this is the old 300 squad that we really admired from their days here in the Philippines, WCS Philippines, from their days in the WCS Southeast Asia Finals, and also in the Icons Global. There's a reason why they're the fan favorites, because once they get hold of an advantage, they're just going to pounce onto your heads.
Yeah, and that is, they're aggressive. That is what I see whenever I see a 300, and this is what I want to witness again with my eyes, that they're this good time and time again. But looking at the lower right side of our map, Helios just went away, and that was a great showing. Again, Helios is gonna fall down, the Ninja is down, but this might be the chance, because Time 8 has fallen already. But OBA, they don't have enough damage to actually contest against the 300, and they are still dominating with Helios still alive.
What do you want to talk about?
300 strong. That's all. Period.
If Stu is currently co-streaming. I want to do a quick shout out to Stu. I believe he's also a fan of 300 or Wild Rift Esports in general.
Yep. Yeah, I think.
But the Baron is actually smelting.
Look at how Helios plays this, right? He just doesn't care about anybody. He just went in for the death mark, get the kill.
Teleport.
And GZL also wants to put his pants, his clutch G's right there. They had the teleport. Time 8 is gonna fall down. Didn't really matter. 300 still won that. 19 is the 2. Yep. They've been served to the gods.
The last time I saw this big discrepancy in a competitive game, I believe was between Final University and the Oceania team. Feels to me, you know, it gives me glimpses right now. I won't say it's mech check or, you know, the difference between the mechanics of these players, but I would say experience and also confidence. One, they were able to get the kill against Zero, and bouncing it all or topping it all is Helios with that solo kill. At that point, at that moment, every 300 fan knows what's next, right? It's going to be a showcase, a montage moment for all members of 300.
Yeah, it's really hard to see this for OBA having taken down Chasing Dreams and now losing, and now we're seeing again another fight happening in the mid lane, and that was just Exosen and Marky, and they're now low in HP, every one of them. This just says how much they. Oh,
it's a 2v5.
That was a great fight that we're seeing. Marky just went in. Exosen
here comes Chaz
with another charm, and that is just the members right there of OBA just falling down one by one. And as you said a while ago, when we were 6 kills in, it's a go next for OBA.
OBA needs to regroup because this is just a massacre.
Yeah, they're just killing them all one by one, and the 300 just showed us what we loved about this team.
My God, what a team! What a difference between the iteration of. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what jersey that is. I think that's one of his Indonesian. He's a journeyman. I kind of wanted to call him the balikbayan of the 300, right? Balikbayan, for all those wondering, is a local term that we have for our OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, right? So you are if you are an OFW, once you get back here in the Philippines, you would often be called as balikbayan, and 3ZL is that, right? The balikbayan.
Yep. He has been wandering, and a lot of teams has taken him down, and a lot of this confidence has. I thought that it's gonna be putting him down, but right now it's him just high out there. GCL with the confidence that he has, it's actually helping out the team. And most of the time, one of the things that I love about the 300 is that even if the composition doesn't really work well, it's gonna work if it's them playing it.
Yep. Oftentimes, I have questioned my ability as well to read their draft. Because at one point you would say, all right, so this should be a favorable draft for OBA, but 300 would find the angle to capitalize on where they're strong at. Again, individually, just looking at Chaz, Helios, and now with the addition of 3DL, it just feels like they're now in sync. If one person goes in, the rest follows through.
I kind of missed the Zed, honestly. When Helios was put in the top lane, I didn't see much of his Zed, which is I kind of missed it. And now seeing it again, it's like I'm back when I first casted the OCS, and I love this. I love this.
You know what happened? You know what I think happened? The belt happened. Kai Goose belt happened. Right?
Right? Yeah.
Stop experimenting, Helios. Go back. Go back to the bit lane.
Pick the Zed, please.
I mean, and this is the swag, everything.
Look at this play, though.
I mean,
oh my.
Yeah. Go left, go right, go up.
He was fighting
go
against
down.
4 people, and he was able to get away.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, that's Helios for you. That's the what we call belt diff. He's just built different. He knows this champion like the back of his hand, as you know, most of you would want to call it. But again, another very good showing coming from 300. Feels like that this form of 300, regardless of who you are, if you are now if you are PSO and you're watching this, you might be
careful,
having troubles right now and trying to analyze what could be done against this quad of 300, because this is night and day compared to what they had at their
It's a very big decision too, right? Changing the player from Tatsuri to GCL middle of the tournament, last chance qualifiers. It's a very big risk, but I believe that this risk was worth it for the 300 because we're seeing the light of day for this now.
And they are known to make those risky decisions, right? Remember, Exosen was originally the mid laner, was moved into the support mid-season, and that was the magic that they needed in order to catapult them to the top here in the Philippines. And now Helios, with a KD of 16.0, with kill participation of 70%. Welcome back, the mid god from the Philippines, Helios.
Boss H is back in town. He's pouncing on OBA and he's using this as his grounds for, I don't know, he's using this as his playground for the Zed. So now I believe that OBA needs to respect this picks coming in from Helios, especially in the mid lane, because it's such a strong showing. But game 2, what do you think, Outplay, before we go into break?
I'll share my thoughts in a bit.
Okay.
Dear Summoners, in the coming Wild Rift League Asia tournament, we will get a brand new UI update for the Spectre mode. The new integrated UI design provides a better game watching experience with a simple picture and more intuitive information alongside the vivid visual effects. Firstly, we move the original UI information that is a top bar and make it into a functional ring design in the upper left corner. The ring not only contains the basic information of the current match, such as the team names, in-game time, number of skills and towers pushed, but also displays the gold count and the red and blue rings so you can see the gold difference at a gallons. What is a great game without the competition for map resources? When a team takes the elemental dragon's buff, the cool map visual effects stick out. The distinctive buff color blocks for each different elemental dragon will be added to the blue or the red side. You can tell whoever takes the Rift Herald to enhance the temple, kills Baron Nashor to increase the lead, or steals the Elder Dragon to secure the game. The countdown special effects for different resources will also help viewers to what is going on in the game and capture the critical information. Additionally, we reshaped the map on the upper right corner. It is easier now to read the simplified map resource icons. The champion cursor now intuitively demonstrates the team tactics, makes it easier for you to track the champion's movements. The most essential in-game stats will be presented by switching between these 3 enriched panels: Farming Mode, Pre- and Post-Teamfight Mode, and Teamfight Mode. In Farming Mode, we have the key information of players' prospectively play, lane section, champion selection, summoner spell, champion's level, and experience. In laning phase, it comes with real-time gold income, KDA, and champion's build. In pre- and post-teamfight mode, we can see the goal difference on the board. The gap on each lane can be easily tracked by differentiating the item builds before and after the team fight. In team fight mode, we only present the concise real-time stats of 10 players' team fight damage and comparison, so that the viewers can focus on the gameplay by our players. A more compact and intuitive UI design will soon be available to all the summoners at Wild Rift League Asia, and the thrilling League of Legends Handicap Asia League is ready to go. Dear summoners, get online! Dear Summoners, in the coming Wild Rift League Asia tournament, we will get a brand new UI update for the Spectre mode. The new integrated UI design provides a better game watching experience with a simple picture and more intuitive information alongside the vivid visual effects. Firstly, we move the original UI information that is a top bar and make it into a functional ring design in the upper left corner. The ring not only contains the basic information of the current match, such as the team names, in-game time, number of skills and towers pushed, but also displays the gold count and the red and blue rings so you can see the gold difference.
And we're back to the redemption era of the 300, and they are back in town. I've seen it, the 300 performed so well during that last game, and OBA didn't stand a chance. What can they do during this game too? Because they need to adapt right now because we're in the LCQ and it's the last chance for them to come back from this. So this is going to be the next game. We're going to be your shoutcasters for today. Again, my name is Ash and I'm here with Outplay.
Yo, what can they do? Because even I am having problems to really think of what to do against this form of 300. As I did say, there's an avenue for them to capitalize on the bot side of the map. Pick something that can really put on the pressure. Pick a more aggressive jungler, because that Olaf just got destroyed by Chaz, the Gwen. I mean, imagine what's going to happen. You go for Ragnarok, and what would Gwen do?
Yeah.
Go through honestly, needles, snip, and then you're dead.
Yeah. Honestly, the Gwen is just dealing so much damage, especially if it's against an Olaf. It would be easier to actually fight against there, and I like that. I don't know. I like that this was such a great performance again for 300. I'm so sorry if we're just praising 300 at this point, because we're waiting for this to happen, honestly, during the whole WRLA.
And it's not even biased to say that we're praising 300. It's more of, at that point in game number 1, it was just so clear that the tempo was on the side of 300. They were more aggressive. They were more crisp with their plays. They didn't give any scaling opportunity on the side of the Senna lineup. And also banning away the Galio, the Gragas. It took away so much from Senna. The Senna Nautilus, not today.
Yeah, not gonna work. Because if ever that was the other 3, if it was the other 3, it could have been a good bot lane matchup, but it was still hard to say because most of them are really good on the side of the 300. Fighting against Helios in the bot lane, Nautilus wouldn't stand a chance.
I mean, if it happens into our game here, Dash, like for example, you pick Senna, I pick Nautilus, what would you feel? You would feel sad, right?
Yeah. You won't be able to do anything, honestly, because you're the one farming. What do you need for the resources? What for? What's that for? Because you're not gonna be doing anything anyway except for putting the dredge line, putting the net charge. Then you're dead. If you're dead, it's okay. It doesn't really matter.
And also, Nautilus is not known to be the most unkillable champion in the game.
Yeah,
he's busted when it comes to crowd control, but there's really no item that prolongs your crowd control. Right? There's really nothing into that. Maybe more cooldown for you, but nah, it still is not efficient. Yeah.
He just looks sturdy because of the armor. That's why he looks sturdy, but he's not that sturdy. It just gives you the illusion that he's tanky, but not as much as the others in the roster.
Exactly. So, well, let's move on from that. I don't think we will see Senna Nautilus once again. I mean, if it happens,
not gonna pick that again. Yeah.
For sure. I'm just going to tweet rage something or do something crazy as well. But yeah, no, man, again, for game number 2, if there is one way for them to control 300's over aggression, it's for them to go back to their comfort, right? There is a reason why 300 is in the lower brackets right now. There is also an avenue for them to go and concentrate on the mid side of things. I know, it's a different version of 300 now because that Suri was easily targetable for the opposing teams. Now with Helios in the fray, he's just so wiser, he's just more equipped, and he's just more comfortable in the mid lane. So we'll see what the plan will be. But to say that 300 is unbeatable is a far-fetch, right? It still is very doable.
Yeah, and remember, Persist Esports is a team who actually beaten them during the times that they were in the upper bracket. So tomorrow, on our next game, if ever they're the ones who actually are going to be going from here, it's going to be a revenge match with the 300 that we're going to be having. So they need to actually win this against OBA.
Yeah, and they're going to show up with another Baron laner and another problem for PSO to answer. That would happen tomorrow because this is going to be the last series of the day. But that's too far-fetched, right? Let's keep it down a notch. Let's discuss what potentially will be the outcome of game number 2. Because if game 1 was any indication, OBA needs to really go back to the drawing board and possibly even go for unconventional picks that are comfort for their squad.
Yeah, if ever they're gonna be doing something different. It's all on the hands of Zero. If ever they would potentially get a Zoe, that surprises 300 every time whenever somebody picks a Zoe. So that could be a good answer for the hands of OBA. But are they gonna be picking the Olaf again? Because the Olaf against the Gwen was a bit hard. But
true. No,
if they ban the Gwen, it would be possible.
Yeah, it would make sense. But there's still the Yone, right? There's still the Kha'Zix.
There's the Shyvana.
There are a lot of answers from 300, and I feel, wasting bans against Shaz is a waste. But there's actually one thing that I would present you as a thought. Like Zoe right now, or there were games in where 300 was dominated by the Zoe, right?
The Zoe.
But
yeah,
with Helios back into his ways and is able to pick up the Zed, are you confident to pick the Zoe against the Zed?
As long as they ban the Zed. If it's against a Zed, no, you shouldn't. Right. You shouldn't pick the
That's
Zoe.
A big asterisk. Okay.
Yeah, because honestly, it's hard. Whenever you're picking a trickster, that's how I call most of these champions like Fizz and Zoe LeBlanc. And LeBlanc in PC. They're tricksters. You won't win against an assassin. It's really hard.
Yep. And the best assassin right now available to the game of Wild Rift is Zed. No Talon as of yet.
Of all people. Zed is the meta.
With a very short amount of cooldown into his death mark. Again, being able to use death mark twice in one clash is just busted on a different level. Speaking of busted, we're not going to see the cat once again. A Camille ban is into no, they're okay. This is what I love about 300. If they're saying, if we're not confident playing against an unconventional pick, they take it away right away. And this is the thing for 300, right? This is the thing for 300. They open Senna, but Ashe is also open. So they're confident that if they leave Ashe open, the Senna will still be prioritized, which means that 300 does not have to deal with Ashe. Remember, the last time that we saw them struggle, it was against an Ashe as well. So, it's a 5-head move by Kaigu.
Are they actually going to pick the Ashe, or are they going to prioritize the Lux again? Because if the Lux has been prioritized a while ago because they don't have a lot of choices, but the Riven Camille. This is
Gwen's still open. Gwen's still open.
Right.
Yeah.
If OBA can take it. Okay, they took the Nasus.
Do you smell what the Gwen is cooking? This is scary again, once again for OBA. If they don't pick up the Gwen here, that's going to be very problematic. They go for the Jax.
Okay, so I mean, there's a lot of champions that actually auto attack at the side of 300. But even if they pick the Gwen, the snip is gonna cut through the counter strike, so they can pick that again.
As well. It's perfect as well, because if you look at the composition of 300, they need AP damage, and that's where Gwen comes in. They're not going for the Gwen; they're going for the Galio. So it is a potential ban for each squad. But if you are 300, you have the luxury to go for that 4th pick threat of the Gwen, which means that OBA would be the one forced to ban it.
Yeah. Are they gonna be banning the Gwen Zed so that the 300 would be forced to try another composition here? Because they could just ban the Zed, or at least ban the Gwen, because there is a lot of choices still for the 300. The Lux is still available. If they want to force Marky out of their way, they need to ban the Lux too.
I mean, there's a lot of champions that Marky can still play. There's the Varus, there's the Lux, you're right. There's even the Corki.
Yeah.
And Zoe is also a champion that Marky could play. Vex, another champion that, fits the playstyle of 300, especially when you have 2 engage option in the Galio and the Camille. But I feel that 300 is just flexing right now. Just so confident that whatever they pick, they have OBA's number.
Yeah, and they're the last pick too. So they're going to be picking the Zed last if ever they want to pick the Zed up. And there you go, there's the Zoe. Okay, this is what I want to see. A game with Marky on Zoe. So we are going to be pivoting a bit of our eyes on Marky, because I want to see this. I want to see Marky on a Zoe.
He needs, you know what I feel? I feel like, Marky would need a lot of, painkillers afterwards because this is one of those champions that needs a lot of clicking, right?
Yeah,
and Marky is very close to my age territory, and when I say that, it's kind of
I saw a picture of Marky back in the day. And I remember the picture. He still looks the same, which is why I'm surprised, man. I'm surprised.
There you go. Shyvana, no Gwen needed for 300, but this is also expected, right? This is an iteration of 300 that has worked. Maybe this is a composition that they would love to show right now as a threat to PSO. This is a message not just to OBA, not just to the viewers, but to PSO and NAOS.
Yeah, and what I like about OBA's composition is that they have a lot of utilities, yes, but I'm lacking on the damage department. Most of the time people say that Senna has a lot of damage, but I don't really believe that Senna deals so much that it's going to be a threat. The only insurance that they have in the late game here would be the Jax. And you have a Shen to couple that with. I think that's just doubling down. I think this is still going to be hard for OBA.
True. A second, your note on that. But if there's one thing going for them, is that this Zoe won't be as annoying because there's a lot of champions from OBA that could actually receive the threat of the bubble, threat of the battle star. They have two tanks. They have the Nasus, they have the Shen. But then again, the question still persists. Yes, you can tank the damage of Marky, but what about your own share of damage? Where will it come from? Is Akali enough? I don't think so.
I think no. I especially in the first objective, you won't have enough damage. The Nasus is not going to deal damage. Senna is not going to deal damage. So they're going to be having a hard time in the first objective. So they need to pivot their way towards wherever the 300 is not going to go. Because just go on there. Because just straight for the first objective. Because you won't have the tools to actually fight against them. And 300 is a team that really goes hard on damage every step of the way, and that's what I like about this team because they know that they can play around it.
Oh, well, I mean, this is going to be the first time that we'll be seeing Zoe's effectiveness against the Senna Nasus. That could be a window of opportunity for the Senna Nasus infinite scaling. But then again, yeah, I mean, OBA, at least compared to game number 1, it's not a Senna Nautilus. It's now a more natural pairing.
Yeah,
in the Senna Nasus.
Yeah, it's better at least for Zero and Leon here. It's gonna be way easier than what happened during the last game. Doubling down on the Senna because they know that this worked for Chasing Dreams. So it might still work if ever they get the right mixture of things.
True. Second that. But you can see that Exosen is fast to respond. He's going to help out 3ZL. That is still a ranged advantage for the side of OBA. So we'll see though. 300 is just on the reactive side of things, at least in the first few minutes. But one thing to note is that 300 right now wants to scale up. They have a shot.
Yeah, and Shyvana is not going to be dealing a lot of damage in the early stages of the game. But it's a good thing that they have a Riven, a Zoe that could help them out, dish the damage. Because as we said a while ago, OBA doesn't have any damage. So as long as they survive the long dragged on fight, it's okay. Just take down one, it's way easier.
Yeah, and my take is that it won't even reach that. I feel that the burst is also very scary for 300 to finish clashes in an instant. Chaz, look at his pathing. He wants to clear the full, he wants to go for a full clear, which is kind of expected for Shyvana. Because that's what it is known for. One of the fastest clearing junglers we have in the game here. Exosen and company is just being challenged here by a bit by OBA. But, okay. So, at least in the previous patches, there has been some changes towards the Scuttle Crabs. And the Scuttle Crabs doesn't see, much more relevance or not as relevant as before.
Yeah. Because one of the things that is really good about this now is that the XP that Chaz gets, he doesn't prioritize anymore because he won't get the level 5 easily compared to before. So just went back, tried to go for another rotation. After he gets to level 5, that's when he tries to do something.
Right. And he was still able to get his Scuttle Crab outside that thing. And look at this. Even stealing Papa Golem and the baby golems as well. And
Time 8.
no, I mean time 8. There's no hard card control. Dragon's Descent will be used to fly over the wall, and that's what's needed by 300. Now, at least in the next few minutes, the Dragon's Descent won't be available, but does it matter? No, not really, because if you're a 300, the only time that you would need is for a 5v5 team fight, which could happen at 5 minutes.
Ooh. Flashed away from Marky just to go from safety. And this is what I'm scared of. Every time you try to engage on a... This is what's hard. When you're a melee and you try to engage against a Zoe, it's not easy. Because once you get an engage, Sleepy Trouble Bubble is going to pop. And you're not going to be able to follow up with any damage.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ability spells that he can pick up. Marky, as we saw from earlier, there was a Proto Belt waiting to be picked up by him. So there's a... Yeah, I mean, look at Marky. I mean, he doesn't have Flash, but he has Proto Belt.
Yeah.
So what now?
Yeah, you can't really kill the Zoe at this point, really, especially with the compositions they have. They don't have a targeted CC to take down Marky. The only way that they can take that down is if ever Uyin could get close, because that is the only way with the Akali.
Sure. Very good Shuriken flip, and also a Shadow Dash from time 8 could also be what they need to kill Marky. That will be a problem for There's a lot of problems for OBA to solve. Meanwhile, for 300, all they need to do is to stall out the game, wait for Chaz to really evolve into the next level of the Dragons. Again, the Draconic Bloodline has a different mechanic now compared to before. They don't need... It's not really a necessity for them to go for the Dragons.
I
mean...
1/4 of his HP at level 7 without Luden's Echo. That's just the damage that Marky could pull off.
Right. And this is a reminder why I am not a fan of Zoe in general. Some would say, you know what, Zoe is a fun champion. Yeah, it is a fun champion when you're the one playing it.
Yeah.
You're the one playing against
that's true.
Nah.
No. You don't have much counterplay if it's a 1v1. That's why it's really hard to fight against the Zoe. But right now, with what we're seeing from OBA, they need to break the sale. I always say this because their composition needs to do that. Because if they don't, they're going to have a hard time later on.
Yeah. Well, right now, looks like the priority of 300 is to go for the Rift Herald. It's open for the taking. No one is in the area, and Uyin is half health.
Yeah, they're just going away from where Chaz is just going to be taking the Rift Herald. It's okay to actually just take this, get the objective. We don't need to fight. We don't have the capabilities. The 300 still wants to go for a fight, wants for a challenge. They have the Wind Slash. Not going to be able to steal anything, but they are still going to fall down. Nice flash from Helios to actually take the kill. Make it the 1-for-1, but Marky has been hit. Has the flash, but wasn't able to use it. Too much damage from Uyin.
Yeah, you did say about Uyin's ability to at least assassinate Marky. But the prize for his death has already been paid. That's a tower for you.
It's a tower for his troubles. Wow. what a nice trade from the 300 too. This is just hard to lose because OBA, they're just playing or rather 300, they're just playing the long game here. Even if they lose some fights, it's okay. Because Chaz, look at Chaz, it's just getting gold left and right.
Yeah, and it's not just about the gold. Also, we're talking about the stacks, right?
Stacks, right? Yeah.
And I did try to explain earlier that it's no longer a necessity for them to really challenge all the dragons. Yes, it will accelerate your Draconic Bloodline because I believe it will be an advantage of 30 stacks.
Better stacks. Yeah.
But that's okay though. I mean, all you have to do is to just farm more camps, or better yet, farm more champions.
Oh no! Sleepy Trouble Bubble, he's dead. I won't even try. But United though, Wind Slash was there. Helios was ready.
Yeah. I mean,
that's not fun. That's not fun.
It's never fun to play against. I tell you that, right? It's just one of those things that if you don't have, I mean, at least here you could actually invest into the Quicksilver Enchant, right? Yeah. At least to clean off that sleep from the other team. But really, what's happening right now is 300 is just putting the pressure, and whenever they find those pickoffs without the involvement of Chaz, that's just a net positive for them overall because Chaz is being left to be able to farm everything that he sees in the map. Now goes back, will most likely go for Death's Dance next. But we'll see.
As long as the eyes are not on Chaz, 300 benefits on it.
Yep.
May it be a kill, may it be a loss on the side of 300. As long as it's not on Chaz, it's okay. It's a lose that they're gonna take. And
True.
the 300 is just, they're just playing around it. And they're just not committing on a lot unless they hit a CC. Like a sleeper trouble bubble could be the only reason why they fight. They don't need to do anything else.
Yep. It could even be just a zoning. Oh. Wait.
He still gets away. Remember, they used the flash there. And now on the top side, though, they have the X6 ultimatum, and they were able to get a kill on God. And he's just gonna fall, not even an answer. And Leon is just gonna be running away. Another hook shot was able to hit on Leon, and they're gonna be taking that kill again. Marky's still not done. Wants to get a sleeper trouble bubble, but it's not gonna hit.
But that's okay. 300 was able to get what they went for. Their target was 2 kills and their tower, and that's all she wrote. That's what they needed. That's already done for them. Now 300. This is definitely an uphill battle for OBA. I hate to say it, especially for the fans of the Masters region, but it feels like the 300 just has found their groove once again in the early stages of this game, and would be able to force team fights that OBA has no business taking.
Nothing's too late, even in the last chance qualifiers, and this is one of the better decisions that the 300 had. And seeing them having this momentum is just a momentous experience too. And GCL fighting in the bot lane, God is on low HP. Counter-Strike would be up in a bit, but Chaz is already here to actually help out. Hextech ultimatum to pull them out. Dawning Shadow is there. And there's the shield, but not enough to actually survive. And he's running away. Time is going to be here. Another flash has been popped, and that's going to be a dead ninja on a 1-for-1.
But Chaz is far away, so far away from this Rift Herald, so this could be an avenue for OBA to at least get something out of what was a problematic state for them in the first few minutes of this game. Them securing this would allow them to at least catch up in the gold department, and is also a denial of some stacks against Chaz. If this was a game that's a little bit closer, we would question those decisions coming from 300. But it's clear as a day that 300 is in the driver's seat and you know, has the luxury to go for that.
Yeah, but I still commend OBA for trying to take the Rip Herald and taking the matters in their own hands. Taking a Rip Herald, taking an objective against them, that could delay a bit of Chaz gaining more stacks by himself. At this point, he might have 250 stacks already at this point, close to his third skill, and that is something scary too. But now with the dragon up, he can take the third skill 3 and upgrade it on this next stack.
Yeah,
so they just need to take this.
And the dragon fight starts now.
They're gonna go for a fight, and that's gonna be onto the back line. They have the counter-strike on God, and that's a great Dawning Shadow, but on front, Chaz, the dragon is in front of everybody, losing breath against his members. It's still a very great fight for OBA because most of them are still healthy, and they're fighting against each other, not dead just yet. Helios finding some opportunity, but a great taunt on 3. It is enough. This might be the turnaround that OBA is looking for, and they got one, but Marky is gonna be able to get one paddle. Star Liang is so slow, and he's trying to get a survival on this long drag on fight. Are they done? Sleeper Trouble Bubble was able to hit, and one Paddle Star could be the end of it for them all, and 0 was hit. And this is too aggressive for the 300. 1 fell down, and 2 has fallen on the hands of the 300.
What happened? Dash, I was praising 300. I was saying that they're in the driver's seat, but OBA had other things in mind. First off, I did notice that God was unleashed in that team fight. You have to remember that this is still a very scary Jax. He was able to 1v1 isolate a target from 300, and at that point, the team fight was so messy. The team fight for 300 is very straightforward. They need Chaz to descend. After descending, that here comes Exos and here comes Helios from the side. But if God could actually disrupt the tempo of your squad, it would be problematic. And speaking of disruption,
yeah, Dragon's Descent, time 8. He's not going to be going for a fight, and God wants battle, wants war. And they're not going to be continuing this because 300 doesn't have any vision at that part of the map.
Call Kratos, because God of War is what Dash is wanting to find here. Bubble misses, and that's actually good for OBA's Liang. Now the Rift Arrow is going to be summoned here. That's 2 objectives at the 10-minute mark that OBA was able to secure. They're not willing to roll down and just die.
Oh.
Ooh. Okay, 172 health.
172. That's deja vu for another team, though. That number.
I think it's 164 though. I mean, close.
Oh, okay.
Close.
I mean, it's close. It's close. But still, yeah, the 300. They lost that fight, and that was a big blunder. I thought that they're gonna be winning that, but I think I remember that Chaz actually went for the Dragon's Descent, but was not enough damage to follow through. What's great about what OBA did is that they cut the fight into 3, if I remember correctly. That's why it was hard.
Yeah, God isolating one target. Also, I believe it was Zero trying to do as much annoyance onto the backline of 300. Remember, it's not straight. 300's execution here is not as straightforward as they hope for. Yeah. This is not a Ziggs. Marky has to deal damage by connecting onto multiple skill shots. It's unlike Ziggs in where all he needs to do is just throw bombs one after another. Even one Mega Inferno Bomb can actually win the team fight for you, right? If you're a Ziggs player. But so this is a different flavor from 300. Definitely is something that OBA found an angle of. And I'm liking this. If I'm OBA.
Yeah, Dragon's Descent on the back line. Hero's Entrance is going to be pulled off, and they have Zero. Surviving for so long, was able to get the stasis, but Hextech Ultimate was already here. And look at the back line, though. God, it's cutting through dismembers right here. Chaz was able to find a kill, and that's going to be good. Because right now, God is now low in HP, but Chaz is still finding a lot. And the perfect execution was able to end their lives, and they were able to get the stasis. It's still a 2v3, now a 2v3, a fight that they don't want to take. Liang is now low in HP, but a great flash from 3CL was able to turn things around, and they're still surviving. God is in front of everybody, and he's not going to be going away without a prayer, because 3CL is here, and he has the spotlight on himself.
Just a small correction, it's Helios, but that's okay, Dash.
Oh, right, Helios.
That's okay, that's okay. That's Helios, the man, the god,
the myth,
the legend. And there you go. I mean, he's like the post-credit scene where fun things happen. That's what Helios was, at least in the team fight. All the while, it was a 4v5, and again, another good team fight condition for OBA. But he with the mechanics. Look at this. Broken Wings into 2.
Oh,
just so clean, just so perfect. My man, it's just unreal. Another one, right? I wish I had that. I wish I had that set of mechanics.
I think this is dead. A dead set. But as you said, I wish I had that too. Because the way that fight worked, it was Marky was able to throw a Sleepy Trouble Bubble in the last one, and one was able to hit again. And that forced Liang to actually go away. Very smart from their side, and now they're going to go in. God, it's a 4v5, not going to be a good fight to be in. Stasis has been popped, and they might be able to end this, but it was a great kick from Wuyen, and they are going to be following suit. They have the damage from the Paddle Star, but Helios is waiting for an opportunity, but it's not going to continue.
Yeah, and 300 needs to be careful because OBA is closing in on that third Dragon win condition, which has accelerated win conditions of multiple teams in the past, be it winning teams or be it losing teams. Marky, though, playing with fire, still has Flash available for him.
Bubbles, though.
Oh, yeah. But it's going to be problematic. Okay, let's make it a suspense one because this Infernal Dragon is very important for both 300 and OBA, and Chaz is so far away. 3 dragons for OBA needs to be challenged by 300.
This is big, though. OBA taking the second objective on their hands, the Rift Herald and also the Ocean Drake, but now with the last one also on their hands, this might be a bit hard. We're looking at them a while ago. We're saying that they don't have any damage, but it doesn't matter if they have 3 objectives, but this is going to be a fight that you don't want to be in because there's only one, and that's the Sand United to actually help them out. The damage from God is enough to actually take down one, but 2 of them have fell to the hands of 300.
True, and one of the more underrated aspect of what's happening right now is the blocking shield of Shen. It has been so huge for them, the AoE shields, but another engage, 3ZL finds one.
Another fight, Zero, gonna be the target. Is he gonna be a hero right here? Great flash to grow away. More flashes have been committed by 300 because they just want to take this Baron.
25 seconds on the timer for time 8. Time is clicking. Uyen and Liang needs to find the miracle in order for them to at least snag this Baron. Stop this Baron. 300 wants this Baron real quick.
Can't take this though, but Uyen, too aggressive. Twilight Shroud has been used. They have a lot of HP though, but they have a lot of sustain to work with it, but it's not going to be enough to actually steal it. They have the stasis, and that's a dead ninja. And one more, Lee Young is going to be the next target. Have the flash to work with.
Ronnie! Run! Okay, I'm sorry. Run, Lee Young, run. Run, Lee Young! Run, Lee Young, run! Alright, anyway, okay. So Lee Young lives, or maybe not. Chaz is still in pursuit.
He's still not done. He still wants to chase Lee Young, but Lee Young went to the wrong street. That's a kill.
Oh, no. Anyway, alright. So 300 was able to turn things around, and regardless of 3 dragons, now they're facing the Baron empowered push. But 300, another assassination, care of Marquis and Exosin, and looks like 300 wants that lower bracket finals.
Here comes God. God is not going to be able to do anything else except for the Baron's going to come in. The tower is going to be taking Nexus is going to puddle down. They have the ones that taunt at the back line, but
Target
1 for HP super low, and that's going to be 300. It's going to be ending it with a 2-0 and a great performance at that.
It's a snap! In a snap! 300 was able to dispose of their opponent and moves themselves to another day. Tomorrow, they will be facing against PSO. On the other hand, we have to show admiration as well to OBA. The lone team from the Masters region is now eliminated, but what a showing from them in this tournament.
Great show from OBA, but the 300 is just on their best form today, and that's why they weren't able to net a win on this best of 3 for themselves. I like that the 300 was able to pull this through with a composition. With having a Zoe is really fun to see. But OBA just had so much hard time. They went for the comfort, and this comfort is still not enough for the 300.
Right, and then to say that, you know, they had no chance is a no-go for me, because obviously they had a glimpse of chance here because they had 30 dragons. It just so happened that when 300 found the opportunity to go for the counter engage, go for the counter punch, it was just too much for OBA to bear. As we look into the highlights, we can see some flips and flaps by 300. This is also the team fight that OBA was able to win just because of God's ability to control the team fight. The Dragon's Descent really didn't do much, and you look at God. Let's go for a date here. The 3ZL. 3ZL had no chance.
Let's have a 1v1.
Yeah, I mean, Jax is definitely the better 1v1 player. And then now the dragon, this I believe is the second dragon of the game or third dragon?
Yeah, it's the second dragon, the Ocean Drake. This was a great fight, honestly. That OBA just capitalized on their positioning, and they capitalized on the fact that Helios is not going to be in that big fight. So that's why it was a bit too late, and they just punished the mistakes of the 300 at this point. But this next one was a fight that was won. Helios, look at Helios though. He was so far away. He was at the Baron.
I know.
It was so far.
I mean, he's in China already, I think. That's what it felt like, right? I mean,
he walked
Helios,
through.
True. Walking through the whole river. Here in again having that montage plays. Once again for Helios. I mean, what happened? What? I'm not. What happened?
That's the bubble. That's the bubble. That's why.
Okay. He's.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Marquis was able to throw one before.
Right. Okay. So I was actually wondering why God stopped for a bit there. And now it makes sense. Yes, that's the bubble, of course. All right. Well, anyway, this is the formality of everything that needed to really happen for 300 to book their spots in the lower bracket finals. We did say that, you know, this boys really loves lower bracket runs, and now is in the lower bracket finals against PSO tomorrow. We'll see though what time it will start. I think it will start at the same time, 4 p.m. I would correct myself. There is a new information along our way, but there you go. Stats of the game, Chaz with the highest damage dealt.
Yeah, he was just stealing so much during those fights. I mean, he's not going to be bursting anybody, but I can also point out that Marquis did so well in that game. The Sleepy Trouble bubbles that he was throwing was very impactful, hitting the right targets. That's why they were not having the best of days, especially for the melee champions. On 4 of them, almost all of them are having a hard time because they can finish their combo whenever a Sleepy Trouble bubble hits them.
just the disruption of this new champion that has been added onto the game. Chaz though is going to be the MVP. Very well deserved with a KDA 14.0. But more than the KDA, it was also the space that was created by his team. Right? Actually, it's a toss-up between Chaz and Helios. If I was given a say as to who the MVP is going to be, Helios would have it.
Yeah. And again, Helios
Yeah,
performing so well. And yeah, I do.